How I turned problems into profit. Every major breakthrough in my business has come from solving a problem that everyone else just complaining about. I'm Andy Dunning. I built multiple 8-figure businesses and I've made millions turning problems into profit opportunities. See, while everyone else is running from a problem, I'm actually running towards them. Why? Because problems are just unmet needs with dollar signs attached to them. Today, I'm going to show you the exact framework I use to turn somebody else's problem into a profitable opportunity for yourself. Okay, section 1, the problem to profit mindset. Problems are opportunities in workflows. The bigger the problem, the bigger the profit potential. If everyone's complaining, that's market validation that you need to look at. See, I saw firsthand in 2018 when I was getting back into the auction business. Everyone else was trying to get out. Companies are selling left and right, and I ran straight to the problem. Why? Because most people miss this. They see problems as obstacles, not opportunities. They focus on the pain, not the possibility that's in front of them. They wait for somebody else to solve it, and that's their problem. They don't think like entrepreneurs do. Step 1, identify the real problem. What you do is you look for the pain points. What are people consistently complaining about? Where's the inefficiency in your industry? What's outdated? What's broken? Back in 2008, 2009, I saw the mobile auction industry was a mess. No one was solving this problem yet, but I did. And see, the problem is it wasn't that the mobile auction industry wasn't profitable. It was the dealerships were wanting to move back to the old model where they were taking the cars actually back to the physical location auctions, not doing them on their dealership. They were wanting them to go back to the facilities. 1, storage of the vehicles. 2, the internet was getting involved. 3, CRs and condition reports were starting to take effect. So there were more needs that were needing to be handled at the location than what could be handled at the actual dealership at that time. Well, what did we do? We started to consolidate our mobile auctions. We were able to transition faster and get back to that blueprint to where the dealers were sending the cars to the auction. How did that happen? I listened to what my dealership was complaining about. I spotted the pattern of what was going on, that these constant complaints were coming in. Hey, our lot's being taken up because the cars are still here. The dealers aren't picking the cars up in time after the purchases. We have cars that are non-running and they're taking up space at our location. We need this handled. That's spotting the pattern. Now I've listened. Measure what it's costing them. Is it costing them physical space? Is it costing them money? Well, it was costing them space, so what did we do? We started to pick the vehicles up in a timely manner, get them over to our actual location, and started selling them there. Who would actually pay to fix this? Well, guess what? They didn't have to pay to fix it. We went in and fixed this problem for them and solved it for them. They no longer had to worry about that space. The auction space was not at their location anymore. The auction space was back where it belonged, at the auction facility. It was knowing at one point in time before 2008, 2009, dealerships didn't want to haul their cars off the locations because they wanted to be able to always have them at their lot to sell them. Well, guess what? That wasn't killing their margins, but it was killing their space to be able to have new inventory to sell at all times. Because this is going through what the efficiencies were of the advantages of doing the mobile auction. Step 2, become the solution provider. Here, this is an absolute mindset. Don't fix the problem, absolutely eliminate the problem. Make your solution 10 times better than what they're currently doing and build something that is scalable at the same time. See, when I created the mobile auction trailers, it was very simple and it was powerful. It filled the need they had then. But guess what? I listened, I picked up on the patterns, and I was able to transition and build a solution to get them back in the physical space at the auction. We started small when we did this. We still kept doing the mobile sales with them, but we started scaling them down little by little. And eventually we moved the entire dealership and all their inventory back to running cars physically at the auction. So here's how you start to build your solution. Start small. And what I mean by small is you may go through and you go to those dealerships that pain point is the most for them. They're the ones that have complained about it the most. So you start with that dealership. You start that transition we did of moving their inventory back to the physical auction. So I started with them. And as we rolled through, we went one dealership at a time, and we started to eliminate our mobile auctions except for the dealers that wanted it that way. We listened to our customer. We tested it out first, and we showed them it's not going to cost you more. We went through and showed them the value of bringing it back to the physical dealership. We were going to be able to do more things to them and bring more value to selling their cars. Scale what works and cut out what doesn't. And what I'm talking about is find the things that you can do efficiently and that are cost effective for the customer that you're working for, because you don't want to take away anything that is not a pain point for them. Only things you're wanting to get rid of are their pain points, because if it's something positive, you got to keep it in there and you got to make sure it's cost effective at the same time. Your advantage, guess what? You started on it first because you saw it faster than anybody else. You were listening. You were able to address their pain points better than anybody else. You've now built that trust with the people that you need to, and that's the trust of the upper management within the company that you're dealing with. That makes it hard for anybody else to compete with you. Step 3, monetize the solution. Now, there's multiple ways to do that and get paid. And the way to do it is now that you've moved, and I'm using the auction as the example, and you can take that into a different realm. What we did is when we moved those vehicles back over to the physical location, we added some new services in there. Well, the services that we added gave us the opportunity to add ancillary fees. Things like post-sale inspections, pre-sale inspections, floor planning fees. There were all kinds of different things that we were able to add more fees in because we were able to add better services. Now you're able to talk to them about a partnership and a revenue split with them at the same time. You even get to capture efficiency on savings when you're doing that. For example, at my mobile auction, it wasn't that it didn't just make money, they saved money for most of my clients. But that changed when we went to the physical auction. There were some savings that they were no longer going to get. There was going to be transportation involved that we had to make up in a different way. So where did we find that savings for them at the value we added when we got to the location? We were able to do those inspections that we weren't able to do at the dealership. We were able to add post-sale inspections. We were able to add pre-sale inspections. We were able to add PSIs so that our customers that were buying the cars could now have an added value at the same time. So let's talk pricing. Don't price based on what it costs you. Price where the value is created. Ask yourself, what's the cost of not solving this problem? How much time, how much money, and how much stress will this save not just you, but what does it save your client, the person that you're bringing value to? Then charge based on that. To scale your revenue, build a system that delivers it to scale. And what I mean to scale is for example, we had multiple hundreds of cars that were now going to be able to have a new revenue stream attached to it. What did that do? That was a scalable item that we were adding to those cars. Now train others to run through that solution. Create reoccurring models, and when you can create reoccurring revenue models, all that does is increase your profits time after time. Think of it as eventually it's mailbox money. Then tackle new nearby problems. And what I mean by nearby problems, that's going back again. Now that your customers moved over to the new way you're doing things and the new systems you've put in place, start listening to those patterns again, listening to the pain points, and find out how you can grow it, and you're already ahead of the schedule right there. Step 4, turn the problems into systems. See, here's how you systemize your problem solving. What you do is you go through, you document everything you do. You turn every solution into an SOP. Teach your team to think this way, and this is how you become a great leader, because you're teaching your team how to go through and put all these processes in place. I taught my leadership team the simple framework. Now they can go through and solve any problem without me. Will they maybe come back to me and ask me questions on it? Absolutely. I always want them to, but I want to allow them to have those ideas and go out and create these systems on their own. You're building a culture around this right here. You reward your people who find things and fix the problems. That's part of growing a leader. You train your team to bring the solution, not just complaints. Every problem you solve compounds your skill. Not only your skill, it compounds the value that you bring to that customer. See, soon people will just come to you with their problems. You earn a premium pricing because they're coming to you with problem and they know that you are the problem solver in their space. That is where the growth comes from. Step 5, scale the business. How do you scale this into an empire? Look for similar problems in nearby industries. Use the same framework we just went over. License your systems if that's available. Build multiple businesses that have a stream of revenue that all solve different problems but in the same space. That's what I did. I expanded the auction model, not just from a one-state platform, but now we have it in multiple states. I have multiple facilities doing the exact same thing, the exact same process, and giving the exact same service to our customers. Now I run a business that shares insight, teams, and customers. And every customer I help, man, they refer us to a new one, and they also help create new problems for us to solve. And that is how you build a profit machine. Here are some real examples from my business. Problem 1, dealer inventory. Problem, cars sitting on the lot. Solution, at one time was mobile auctions. The new solution, by listening to my customers, became bring the vehicles back to a fixed location. Problem 2, auction cash flow. Problem, title delay is the biggest problem. See, we don't get paid until titles are processed, so we had to come up for a solution for that. We had to create a financial system and build relationships to be able to get the titles processed as fast as possible. The dealer buying the car wants the title as quick as it can have it because he can't process it and get his money collected unless he has title in hand when he sells it. So our goal is to get the titles processed as quickly as possible, get money collected from buyer and seller, and then make everybody happy. Problem 3, leadership bottleneck. See, the problem is I couldn't scale without burning myself out, but that was easy to fix. The solution was I needed to build a leadership pipeline, a pipeline of leaders that I built through my ability to train them and do things effectively. See, when you're managing 300 plus employees, you have to be able to branch that out because people can only manage so many people at one time. Once you put the right leaders in each space, you're able to grow the team and grow the business at the same time. Problem 4, knowledge transfer. See, the problem was I didn't have a roadmap into the auction industry. The solution for it was finding a mentor. The formula, let me give you the exact framework I use. Start off, identify the problem, then validate who will pay you. Solve it 10 times better than anybody else will. Monetize it with multiple revenue streams. Scale it into similar markets, and then systematize everything. Once you've done that, and most important, shift your mindset. Stop avoiding problems, start seeking them out. That's where you're gonna find the money. So here's your next step. Look around your industry, see what's broken that people have just accepted. What would you pay somebody to fix that problem? Pick one problem. Talk to 10 people that are dealing with that exact problem to validate it. Build a basic version of the solution, test it, then improve it, because problems are profit opportunities waiting to be discovered. The bigger the problem, the bigger the payout. Stop avoiding the problems and start being the solver of them. Guys, do this for me. Like, share the video with somebody that you think may need this and that it could solve a problem for them, or actually it could find them the profit by solving a problem.